Hello, Nova Nation. It's WXVU Sports Director David Szczepanski about to head on the train to New York for tonight's game between Villanova versus St. John's. This is your preview video for that game. Villanova and St. John's coming into this game with the same record overall this season, 22-6. Now, when you talk about Big East records, Villanova is 13-4. St. John's is 15-2. Only 2 losses this year, and both of them have been kind of very separated. Right? They lost to Providence about a month and a half ago, and then most recently a loss to UConn by more than 30 points, where St. John's only scored 40 points. They didn't score a field goal in the last 17 minutes of that game. So this is a St. John's team that really wants revenge after that tough loss to UConn. And, you know, Villanova did lose the first match with the St. John's in South Philly at Xfinity Mobile Arena in a game where Ian Jackson played really, really well. Villanova struggled in the second half, but this is going to be a fun matchup tonight, right? It's supposed to be the whiteout at Madison Square Garden. Some players to watch for St. John's, of course, I have to talk about Zuby Ejiofor, one of the best players in the Big East. He averages almost 16 points per game and about 7 rebounds. He was the Big East most improved player last year. And then you also have Bryce Hopkins, who played for Providence for a few seasons, and he's also having a great year, 14 points per game, despite struggling from behind the arc at about 29%. But they also have Isaiah Sellers, Ian Jackson, who both average around 10 points per game. And St. John's offensively is really, really good. They average about 80 points per game. Last year, one of the biggest weaknesses for this Red Storm team was the fact that they didn't shoot the ball well from behind the arc, almost 28-29% as a team. This year, St. John's is about 32-33% from behind the arc. But even though they have gotten better in that department in the three-point shooting, defensively, St. John's has been a little bit worse than where they were last year. They give up about 71, 72 points per game. But last year, this was a top 10 defense really in all of college basketball. This year, kind of top 30, top 35. Still very, very good, but definitely they've taken a little bit of a step back defensively, but the three-point shooting has gotten a lot better. But still defensively, St. John's forces a lot of turnovers, about 14 forced turnovers per game. So this is St. John's defense that is really tough, and you saw that in the second half against Villanova in South Philly. So tonight's game will begin at 8 p.m. Our WXU pregame coverage will begin at 7:30 p.m. from Madison Square Garden. Thanks for tuning into this preview video. Have a great rest of your day, Nova Nation. About to hop on the train here at Hamilton. And as always, go Cats!